Hi everyone and welcome to Positively Kimmie. I am Kimmie. If you are new here, welcome. This is a safe space. And if you're one of my returning subscribers and my besties, hi guys, how are you? I hope you're all having an amazing day. I hope you all had an amazing 4th of July, no matter what you did. I hope you did whatever made you happy that day, whether it was barbecuing with family, going out with friends, or just watching the fireworks on TV. Let me know what you guys did. We had a barbecue at my house, in the back of my house. My son threw a party for him and his friends and the family, and it was so nice. I got to spend time with my grandson, who's now 16 months old and just has the cutest personality on the planet. And they had a little pool out there for him, and he was splashing around, and it was amazing. So, It was a lot of fun. I didn't get to spend as much time outdoors with him as I would have liked to because I still have this respiratory infection. That's what I'm calling it. I've been taking prednisone, and I don't know if prednisone does this to any of you. I mean, besides making you fall in your face and stuff, but it makes me angry. Like I get a really, really bad, I'm just short with people, and I don't like that. So that's why I haven't been filming the last couple of days. Tomorrow's my last dose, and hopefully we're getting back to normal because nothing is worse than when you snap at somebody for no reason. I would like to thank you all for sending your thoughts and well wishes to me and my mom. I call her Mama. Mama was just in the hospital. She was there for 8 days. She went in on a Tuesday and came out yesterday. She was not able to go outside because the air has just been so heavy here in New York. And maybe not for everybody, but for people like me who have asthma, people like my mom who have COPD, it's very, very heavy. So I try not to go out because my car doesn't have AC at the moment, which really sucks. So I go out very early in the morning before it gets too hot, or I go out after dark, like after 6 o'clock at night when it starts to, not that that's dark right now, but after 6 o'clock at night when it starts to cool down a little bit. And I make sure I go in a car with somebody who has air conditioning, and that makes all the difference in the world. She got out of the hospital. She went to the hospital because she was having trouble breathing, and she has a problem with one of her feet. Now, she was supposed to have surgery on the 21st of June, and 2 days before her surgery, she just wasn't feeling good, and we had the ambulance here for her twice. And finally, the third time, I was like, listen, we're taking you up to the hospital because they said, oh, no, you're fine. You know, your levels are fine. Your oxygen is fine. You don't need to go to the hospital. The third day, I was like, listen, you're having trouble breathing. You're using your nebulizer. You're using your oxygen. You're using your inhalers. We're not going to do this anymore with this doctor. We're just going to go right up to the hospital and have you taken care of. And that's what we did. And she ended up being admitted for 8 days. They were doing breathing treatments. She always has, her oxygen level is always awesome. Like it's always no lower than, let's say, 96. Mine has gone as low as 82, but hers was 96. So she's getting air into her lungs. Like she can breathe in, but exhaling, it's not coming out for some reason. And you would think the number would be higher that way, but it's low, and I don't understand the science behind it. But that's what's been going on. So they didn't want to let her leave. And then she also has a deformed foot. She had surgery in 1990 for a bunion, and the doctor that did it completely destroyed her foot, and she's had problems ever since. But recently, like if this is your ankle bone has a top and a bottom, and the bottom is actually coming through the bottom of her foot, and she walks on that bone, and she's in excruciating pain all the time, and it's heartbreaking. So they were trying to get that under control too, because they feel when her foot swells, and it swells, it looks like elephantitis, it swells and changes color, goes to like a deep purple, like, yeah, not a good color. They said they were surprised she was even walking when she went into the emergency room. She was taken by ambulance, but they were surprised she was even able to walk and get up on that foot. And their talk about, you know, what's going to happen further down the line, which we're not thinking about right now. We're staying positive, and unfortunately, they're not going to let her go forward and get the surgery, because if she had gotten the surgery right now with the respiratory problems, it would not be conducive to her coming out of the hospital. So there's not much we can do on that right now. But she is home. She got there in time. and we're working with all her doctors very, very closely. So for all your well wishes, your thank yous, your prayers, and just your kindness, we both thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm still congested. I'm going to make an appointment with my pulmonologist because I do have asthma, and I have a nebulizer. I have an inhaler that I use. I'm on prednisone right now, which should be stopping tomorrow. And I'm trying to break this, and it's not breaking because of the wildfires. The air here is just very heavy. Today, I think it was like 97, and it said it feels like 103. I want to know, like, seriously, this is the way my brain works. It's a little screwed up. But I want to know, who knows what 132 degrees feels like? Like, if you live in Vegas or Texas, and they say the temperature on the screen is 112, and then they'll be like, well, it feels like it's 132. How do you know? Like, who sat out there? Or did somebody sit out, like, I don't know this. Did somebody sit out there and say, well, today's 112, but my insides are saying this is 132 degrees inside. So, like, how do you know what something feels like if you've never experienced it? Like, I've had 102 temperature. I know what that feels like to me, but to you that might feel differently. So how do we know what the feel like temperature really is? This is the kind of stuff I think at night. Like B batteries. Why are there no B batteries? Why are there A, there are C, there are D, but there are no B batteries? Like, instead of AAA, why couldn't that have been a B battery? Is there a reason for that? Like, just ignore me today. I'm in a great mood, and I just have questions that nobody in the world seems to answer, or know how to answer me. And they probably look at me like you guys are right now and just shaking your head and saying this girl has lost her mind. But anyway, so Mama's out of the hospital. I had a great 4th of July. I hope all of you did too. I'm starting to not really feel better. I'm feeling better as far as my voice is concerned, but as far as the shortness of breath, I'm still having some trouble, so I'm going to call the pulmonologist on that. And hopefully we don't have too much going on for the next couple of days, because we are getting another heat wave. It's going to be in the 90s and very close to 100. And I hope that this was a little update. As far as my Ozempic goes, I took Ozempic for the first time on last Thursday, and I take it again this Thursday. I have had, thankfully, fingers crossed, no side effects. Now, I'm taking it because I am a type 2 diabetic, and I also need to lose weight, like 130 pounds according to my doctor, but we're going to take it 5 pounds at a time. I think that's more realistic and not as overwhelming. But what we're going to do is I'm going to document this every week also when I take my shot, to tell you if I've had any side effects, which I have not had. I have a bad stomach to begin with, but I have not had pains in my stomach. They say, like, some of the negativity that I heard is that it bothers your anxiety and your depression and you get panic attacks. I have had none of that. The only thing I notice is that I poop a little bit more, but I do that anyway because I have a little bit of dumping syndrome from the surgeries I just recently had on my stomach. So for me, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not in any pain. I'm not in any discomfort. I don't notice a lot yet as far as my eating goes, but I'll tell you, I'm not consumed by the thought of food all day. Now, I don't know how long it takes to kick in, so my second dose is tomorrow, and I'll update you next week to see if I've had any side effects that I could think of, or if something happens, but I don't expect there to. And if I could bring down my A1C and lose weight at the same time, that would be phenomenal. You know, I'm not taking anything away from anybody who is diabetic, because I am diabetic and I do need to get my A1C down to a safe level. And it's not ridiculous, but I do need to get my A1C down, and I'm going to do this. And the only thing you have to do is, yes, it's a shot. It's once a week, but it's not a magic pill. You still have to watch what you're eating. You have to watch what you're drinking, and that's where my biggest problem is. Like, I'm not a big eater. I rather food than sweets. But I do find that I'm very thirsty, and instead of reaching for water, I've been reaching for juice. And that with the sugar is probably not my best idea, and I'm going to try and cut that out. And I've drunk water, but not nearly enough to do anything, because I like things with flavor, but I don't like flavored waters. And I'm trying to figure out something else to use. So if you can come up with any ideas, I would really appreciate that. And if there's anything else you'd like to know and have any questions for me, just ask. In the meantime, be happy, be healthy, be blessed, and most of all, be positively you, because there's nobody else quite like you. And that makes me so incredibly happy, because you guys rock. Bye, guys.